Look at me. It's a phrase many parents use instinctively. We say it when something feels important, when we want to make sure our child is listening, or when we're worried that our words aren't landing. Most of the time, it comes from a place of care, a desire to connect and be understood. But for some children, hearing "look at me" doesn't help them tune in. In fact, it can sometimes make listening harder. Today, we're going to explore why that happens and what parents can try instead to support communication in a calmer, more supportive way. In this video, we'll talk about why eye contact is often misunderstood, why some children listen better without it, and how small shifts in communication can reduce pressure and strengthen connection. This video is meant for general education and reassurance, not diagnosis, labels, or guaranteed outcomes. Ready? Because this is Kind Parent Collective, less perfect parent, more real one. Why adults ask for eye contact. For many adults, eye contact is deeply tied to how we understand attention. We grow up learning that looking at someone means respect, engagement, and listening. In school, in conversations, and in professional settings, eye contact is often expected. So when a child doesn't look at us while we're speaking, it can trigger concern or frustration almost automatically. We may worry they aren't listening, don't care, or are being defiant. Asking for eye contact can feel like the quickest way to regain connection, but this expectation is based on adult norms, not necessarily how children process information. Eye contact and listening are separate skills. Listening is a cognitive process that happens in the brain, while eye contact is a visual and social behavior.
Making eye contact uses up cognitive and sensory resources. You're trying to process facial expressions, tone of voice, and what they're saying.
For some children, these two skills compete rather than support each other. Looking at someone's face can add visual information that makes it harder to focus on spoken words. Some children actually understand language better when they're looking away, moving their body, or focusing on something familiar. This is especially common for children who are sensitive to sensory input or who become overwhelmed easily. Why "look at me" can increase stress. When a child hears "look at me," it may sound simple to an adult, but for the child, it can feel like several demands layered together. They're being asked to stop what they're doing, shift attention, regulate their body, make eye contact, and then process language all at once. For children who struggle with transitions or regulation, this can overload their nervous system. Instead of helping them listen, the pressure can cause them to freeze, pull away, or shut down. Eye contact can be physically uncomfortable. For some children, eye contact isn't just challenging, it's uncomfortable. Looking into someone's eyes can feel intense, distracting, or overwhelming. Many autistic adults and therapists have explained that eye contact can interfere with language processing, making it harder to understand what's being said. When a child looks away, they may be doing so to protect their nervous system and make listening possible. Avoiding eye contact in these moments is often a coping strategy, not a sign of disrespect. Regulation often gets misread as avoidance. From the outside, avoiding eye contact can look like disinterest or avoidance, but often it's a form of self-regulation. A child may be managing sensory input, calming their emotions, or focusing internally. When adults misinterpret this as misbehavior, they may respond with increased demands or correction. This can unintentionally increase stress and make communication harder. Understanding regulation allows parents to respond with empathy rather than urgency. How listening shows up without eye contact. Many children show listening in subtle ways that are easy to miss. They might follow instructions later, adjust their behavior after hearing something, or repeat a phrase at a different time. Some children respond through actions instead of words, or demonstrate understanding during play. Listening doesn't always look immediate or verbal, and it doesn't always involve eye contact. Recognizing these signs helps parents trust their child's communication style. What to try instead of asking for eye contact? Instead of asking for eye contact, parents can focus on creating connection in gentler ways. Saying a child's name softly before speaking, moving closer, or speaking at their level can signal importance without pressure. Using fewer words and a calm tone can make language easier to process. These approaches help children tune in without feeling demanded or overwhelmed. Commenting before expecting a response. Turning commands into comments can change how communication feels. Rather than saying, "Look at me, I'm talking," a parent might say, "I'm going to tell you something important." Then pause. This pause gives the child time to shift attention in their own way. It communicates respect and allows the nervous system to settle before more language is added. Timing matters more than eye contact. Even the most supportive communication won't land if the timing isn't right. If a child is tired, overstimulated, hungry, or emotionally overwhelmed, their brain may not be ready to process language. Waiting for a calmer moment often leads to better understanding than insisting on attention during stress. Timing can be the difference between connection and conflict. Modeling calm communication. Children learn how communication feels by experiencing it. When parents model calm tone, patience, and flexibility, children learn that communication doesn't require perfection or performance. Over time, this builds trust, and trust supports listening far more reliably than commands or demands ever could. What professionals often emphasize. Many speech-language pathologists and occupational therapists emphasize that eye contact should never be forced. They often explain that meaningful communication can happen without it, and that comfort and regulation matter more than appearances. This perspective helps shift the focus from how listening looks to whether understanding is happening. Observing patterns without panic. Occasional avoidance of eye contact is very common. Instead of focusing on individual moments, parents can gently observe patterns over time, noticing when their child listens best, what environments feel easiest, and which approaches support connection. Observation helps parents respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. Asking a child to look at me often comes from love and a desire to connect. But for some children, connection grows when pressure is removed. Listening doesn't require eye contact. Understanding doesn't require stillness. And communication doesn't require compliance. When parents adjust how they connect, children often respond in ways that feel safer and more natural. When we change how we communicate, we create space for our children to feel understood, even when their listening looks different than we expect. Thank you for being here with Kind Parent Collective. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if today was rough, you still did enough. Catch you on the next one.